Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The money risked on a gamble. Have faith or confidence in. You can bet on that. Maintain with or as if with a bet. I bet she will be there. Stake on the outcome of an issue. I bet $100 on that new horse. The act of gambling. He did it on a bet. Mark with a stake. Stake out the path. The money risked on a gamble. A pole or stake set up to mark something, as the start or end of a racetrack. The corner of the lot was indicated by a stake. Put at risk. I will stake my good reputation for this. Kill by piercing with a spear or sharp pole. Law. A right or legal share of something, a financial involvement with something. A stake in the company's future. Place a bet on. A strong wooden or metal post with a point at one end so it can be driven into the ground. Instrument of execution consisting of a vertical post that a victim is tied to for burning. Tie or fasten to a stake. Stake your goat. The money risked on a gamble. The money risked on a gamble. Maintain with or as if with a bet. Stake on the outcome of an issue. The act of gambling. A financial institution that accepts deposits and channels the money into lending activities. He cashed a check at the bank. Have faith or confidence in. Put into a bank account. A container, usually with a slot in the top, for keeping money at home. The coin bank was empty. A slope in the turn of a road or track. The outside is higher than the inside in order to reduce the effects of centrifugal force. A building in which the business of banking transacted. The bank is on the corner of Nassau and Witherspoon. Act as the banker in a game or in gambling. A flight maneuver. Aircraft tips laterally about its longitudinal axis, especially in turning. The plane went into a steep bank. A long ridge or pile. A huge bank of earth. An arrangement of similar objects in a row or in tiers. He operated a bank of switches. A supply or stock held in reserve for future use, especially in emergencies. Be in the banking business. Cover with ashes so to control the rate of burning. Bank a fire. Do business with a bank or keep an account at a bank. Where do you bank in this town? Enclose with a bank. Bank roads. Sloping land, especially the slope beside a body of water. They pulled the canoe up on the bank. The funds held by a gambling house are the dealer in some gambling games. He tried to break the bank at Monte Carlo. Tip laterally. The pilot had to bank the aircraft. Predict in advance. Have faith or confidence in. Specifically design a product, event, or activity for a certain public. Judge to be probable. Keep an account of. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. Put into a group. The Academy counts several Nobel Prize winners among its members. Show consideration for. Take into account. Determine the number or amount of. Can you count the books on your shelf? Have faith or confidence in. You can count on me to help you anytime. Take account of. The act of counting, reciting numbers in ascending order. The counting continued for several hours. Have weight, have import, carry weight. A nobleman, in various countries, having rank equal to a British earl. Have a certain value or carry a certain weight. Each answer counts as 3 points. Include as if by counting. I can count my colleagues in the opposition. Name or recite the numbers in ascending order. The toddler could count to 100. The total number counted. A blood count. Have faith or confidence in. Be contingent upon, something that is elided. That depends. Take charge of or deal with. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Have faith or confidence in. Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect. This project looks fishy. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. She is looking to a promotion. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A look of triumph. Be oriented in a certain direction, often with respect to another reference point, be opposite to. The house looks north. Search or seek. We looked all day and finally found the child in the forest. The act of directing the eyes toward something and perceiving it visually. He went out to have a look. Accord in appearance with. You don't look your age. Convey by one's expression. She looked her devotion to me. Have a certain outward or facial expression. How does she look? Perceive with attention. Direct one's gaze towards. She looked over the expanse of land. Physical appearance. I don't like the looks of this place. Have faith or confidence in. Judge to be probable. Take account of. You have to reckon with our opponents. Expect, believe, or suppose. Deem to be. Make a mathematical calculation or computation. Have faith or confidence in. Have faith or confidence in. Utter obscenities or profanities. To declare or affirm solemnly and formally as true. Before God I swear I am innocent. Make a deposition. Declare under oath. Promise solemnly. Take an oath. Contend against an opponent in a sport, game, or battle. Princeton plays Yale this weekend. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. She plays deaf when the news are bad. Manipulate manually or in one's mind or imagination. She played nervously with her wedding ring. A dramatic work intended for performance by actors on a stage. He wrote several plays but only one was produced on Broadway. The act using a sword, or other weapon, vigorously and skillfully. A weak and tremulous light. The play of light on the water. Gay or light-hearted recreational activity for diversion or amusement. It was all done in play. Activity by children that is guided more by imagination than by fixed rules. Freud believed in the utility of play to a small child. Consider not very seriously. She plays with the thought of moving to Tasmania. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. Play a joke. Replay, as a melody. She played the third movement very beautifully. Game. The activity of doing something in an agreed succession. It is still my play. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Stake on the outcome of an issue. She played all her money on the dark horse. An attempt to get something. They made a futile play for power. A deliberate coordinated movement requiring dexterity and skill. The runner was out on a play by the shortstop. Engage in recreational activities rather than work. Occupy oneself in a diversion. On weekends I play. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. I'll play you my favorite record. Movement or space for movement. There was too much play in the steering wheel. Behave carelessly or indifferently. The removal of constraints. They gave full play to the artist's talent. Engage in an activity as if it were a game rather than take it seriously. They played games on their opponents. The act of playing for stakes in the hope of winning, including the payment of a price for a chance to win a prize. There was heavy play at the blackjack table. Verbal wit or mockery, often at another's expense but not to be taken seriously. In games or plays or other performances, the time during which play proceeds. Rain stopped play in the fourth inning. Play a role or part. Gielgud played Hamlet. Act or have an effect in a specified way or with a specific effect or outcome. This factor played only a minor part in his decision. A preset plan of action in team sports. The coach drew up the plays for her team. A state in which action is feasible. The ball was still in play. A theatrical performance of a drama. The play lasted 2 hours. Be at play. Be engaged in playful activity. Amuse oneself in a way characteristic of children. The kids were playing outside all day. Behave in a certain way. Play safe. Be performed or presented for public viewing. What's playing in the local movie theater? Bet or wager, money. He played $20 on the new horse. Cause to move or operate freely within a bounded space. The engine has a wheel that is playing in a rack. Discharge or direct or be discharged or directed as if in a continuous stream. Play water from a hose. Emit recorded sound. The tape was playing for hours. Employ in a game or in a specific position. They played him on first base. Exhaust by allowing to pull on the line. Play a hooked fish. Make bets. Play the casinos in Trouville. Move or seem to move quickly, lightly, or irregularly. The spotlights played on the politicians. Participate in games or sport. We played hockey all afternoon. Perform music on a musical instrument. He plays the flute. Perform on a certain location. The prodigy played Carnegie Hall at the age of 16. Play on an instrument. The band played all night long. Pretend to be somebody in the framework of a game or playful activity. Let's play like I am mommy. Put a card or piece into play during a game, or act strategically as if in a card game. He is playing his cards close to his chest. Shoot or hit in a particular manner. She played a good backhand last night. Use or move. I had to play my queen. Use to one's advantage. She plays on her client's emotions. Utilization or exercise. The play of the imagination. Place a bet on. Take a risk in the hope of a favorable outcome. A risky act or venture. Money that is risked for possible monetary gain. Play games for money. Complete confidence in a person or plan, etc. The doctor-patient relationship is based on trust. Expect and wish. I trust you will behave better from now on. A consortium of independent organizations formed to limit competition by controlling the production and distribution of a product or service. They set up the trust in the hope of gaining a monopoly. Be confident about something. Certainty based on past experience. He put more trust in his own 2 legs than in the gun. A trustful relationship. He betrayed their trust. The trait of believing in the honesty and reliability of others. The experience destroyed his trust and personal dignity. Confer a trust upon. The messenger was entrusted with the general's secret. Allow without fear. Chiefly archaic, extend credit to. Don't trust my ex-wife. I won't pay her debts anymore. Have confidence or faith in. We can trust in our government. Something, as property, held by one party, the trustee, for the benefit of another, the beneficiary. He is the beneficiary of a generous trust set up by his father. Regard something as probable or likely. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Be excited or anxious about. Act in advance of. Deal with ahead of time. Realize beforehand. Be a forerunner of or occur earlier than. This composition anticipates Impressionism. Assign a specified, usually proper name to. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Order, request, or command to come. She was called into the director's office. Utter a sudden loud cry. Pay a brief visit. The mayor likes to call on some of the prominent citizens. The option to buy a given stock, or stock index or commodity future, at a given price before a given date. A demand by a broker that a customer deposit enough to bring his margin up to the minimum requirement. A demand especially in the phrase. The call of duty. A telephone connection. She reported several anonymous calls. A loud utterance, often in protest or opposition. Greet, as with a prescribed form, title, or name. She calls him by first name. Demand payment of a loan. Give the calls to the dancers for a square dance. Get or try to get into communication with someone by telephone. I tried to call you all night. The characteristic sound produced by a bird. Make a demand, as for a card or a suit or a show of hands. He called his trump. A brief social visit. Senior professors' wives no longer make afternoon calls on newcomers. A demand for a show of hands in a card game. After 2 raises there was a call. An instruction that interrupts the program being executed. Pascal performs calls by simply giving the name of the routine to be executed. A request. Many calls for Christmas stories. Ascribe a quality to or give a name of a common noun that reflects a quality. He called me a bastard. A special disposition, as if from a divine source, to pursue a particular course. A visit in an official or professional capacity. The pastor's calls on his parishioners. Call a meeting. Invite or command to meet. The 1C conference was called to discuss the final solution. Challenge somebody to make good on a statement, charge with or censure for an offense. He deserves to be called on that. Challenge the sincerity or truthfulness of. Call the speaker on a question of fact. Consider or regard as being. I would not call her beautiful. Declare in the capacity of an umpire or referee. Call a runner out. Indicate a decision in regard to. Call balls and strikes behind the plate. Lure by imitating the characteristic call of an animal. Make a stop in a harbor. The ship will call in Honolulu tomorrow. Order or request or give a command for. The unions called a general strike for Sunday. Order, summon, or request for a specific duty or activity, work, role. He was already called 4 times for jury duty. Read aloud to check for omissions or absentees. Require the presentation of for redemption before maturation. Rouse somebody from sleep with a call. I was called at 5 a.m. this morning. Send a message or attempt to reach someone by radio, phone, etc. Make a signal in order to transmit a message. Hawaii is calling. Sports, the decision made by an umpire or referee. He was ejected for protesting the call. Stop or postpone because of adverse conditions, such as bad weather. Call a football game. Utter a characteristic note or cry. Blue jays called to one another. Utter in a loud voice or announce. He called my name. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Indicate, as with a sign or an omen. Foreshadow or presage. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Indicate, as with a sign or an omen. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Indicate, as with a sign or an omen. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Grounds for feeling hopeful about the future. There is little or no promise that he will recover. Make a promise or commitment. A verbal commitment by one person to another agreeing to do, or not to do, something in the future. Give grounds for expectations. The results promised fame and glory. Promise to undertake or give. I promise you my best effort. The act of playing for stakes in the hope of winning, including the payment of a price for a chance to win a prize. The act of playing for stakes in the hope of winning, including the payment of a price for a chance to win a prize. His gambling cost him a fortune. Young domestic cat. The combined stakes of the bettors. Informal terms referring to a domestic cat. The cumulative amount involved in a game, such as poker. Something resembling a pool of liquid. He stood in a pool of light. An association of companies for some definite purpose. The combined stakes of the bettors. A small body of standing water, rainwater, or other liquid. The body lay in a pool of blood. A small lake. Any of various games played on a pool table having 6 pockets. An excavation that is, usually, filled with water. An organization of people or resources that can be shared. A carpool. Any communal combination of funds. Everyone contributed to the pool. Combine into a common fund. We pooled resources. Join or form a pool of people. Slang for a paunch. A plumbing fixture for defecation and urination. A resistor with 3 terminals, the third being an adjustable center terminal, used to adjust voltages in radios and TV sets. Often followed by of, a large number or amount or extent. A container in which plants are cultivated. Street names for marijuana. The quantity contained in a pot. The cumulative amount involved in a game, such as poker. Metal or earthenware cooking vessel that is usually round and deep, often has a handle and lid. Plant in a pot. He potted the palm. Place one stake. Poker. The initial contribution that each player makes to the pot. The cumulative amount involved in a game, such as poker. Any outstanding award. Take charge of or deal with. Could you see about lunch? Make sense of. Assign a meaning to. What message do you see in this letter? Go to see a place, as for entertainment. We went to see the Eiffel Tower in the morning. See or watch. This program will be seen all over the world. Get to know or become aware of, usually accidentally. I see that you have been promoted. Date regularly. Have a steady relationship with. Did you know that she is seeing an older man? Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. I want to see whether she speaks French. Perceive or be contemporaneous with. You'll see a lot of cheating in this school. Undergo or live through a difficult experience. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Come together. I'll probably see you at the meeting. Accompany or escort. I'll see you to the door. Perceive, an idea or situation, mentally. Now I see. Imagine. Conceive of. See in one's mind. I can't see him on horseback. Observe, check out, and look over carefully or inspect. I must see your passport before you can enter the country. Deem to be. I don't see the situation quite as negatively as you do. Deliberate or decide. Let's see, which movie should we see tonight? Go to see for a social visit. I went to see my friend Mary the other day. Go to see for professional or business reasons. You should see a lawyer. Match or meet. Observe as if with an eye. Perceive by sight or have the power to perceive by sight. You have to be a good observer to see all the details. Receive as a specified guest. The doctor will see you now. See and understand, have a good eye. The artist must first learn to see. The seat within a bishop's diocese where his cathedral is located.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.